Hi everybody, this is a blue and red Arcane Bombardment deck for Explorer that wants to reuse all of our instants and sorceries and get a lot of extra cards out of our sideboard thanks to all these learn cards from Strixhaven. So let's take a look at it and see how it works. We've got some cheap instants and sorceries to help control the early game and find us some cards, so we're running 2 Consider and 2 Play with Fire to go along with 3 Experimental Augury, provide some nice card selection and put some counters on some of our things. And we've got some Abrade and some Lightning Strike as well. Now in the 3 drops, we're running 2 Prismari Command. Very nice, very flexible spell. Does what we need it to, when we need it to, helps ramp us up, helps control the board, and just very nice in this slot. Running 3 Anger of the Gods. This could also be Brotherhood's End if you want to, but sometimes exiling things is kind of nice. We've got 2 Igneous Inspiration as one of our learn cards. Just a nice way to ding anything for 3 damage and then grab something out of the sideboard. We're also running 4 Divide by Zero. Now, some of you might remember this from Standards past as one of the most annoying control cards that somebody could play. Now, I am happy to report that I am tucking it under Arcane Bombardment and reusing it over and over and over again, so we will show some of these opponents way too many Divide by Zeros in the course of a game. Now, of course, we're running Big Score here as a nice bridge between the early and the late game. And for sweepers, we've got Burn Down the House, and we've got Invoke the Winds up here in the 5-drop slot as well. Nice flexible things. I love running Invoke the Winds in anything I can put it in, really, so I'm putting it in here. Now, on the top end is where things start to get interesting. We're doing 2 copies of Magma Opus, of course, because with all the treasure generation we've got going on, we're going to be able to just cast this sometimes, and then, of course, Arcane Bombardment can pick it up at a steep discount and let us get all these effects for free. Always nice to have Chandra Hope's Beacon, the new arrival from March of the Machine. Helps double up all of our spells, and we've got plenty of those in here for sure, and then can function as some sort of board control and card selection off the top with those other 2 abilities. Of course, we're running 3 copies of Arcane Bombardment to go along with all these wonderful dual lands that we get access to in Explorer. Quick peek at the sideboard here. You'll see we've got all the lessons we could ask for. Mercurial Transformation, Environmental Sciences. This is probably the first thing you're going to go for if you do decide to try this deck. Helps smooth out the land a little bit for when we don't draw them on time. Teachings of the Archaics, also a nice control staple, especially with repeated castings under Bombardment, can just draw us a whole bunch of cards. Start from scratch. If you've got an opponent at 1, you can probably use this to finish them off, but also wanted some artifact removal that we could pull out of the sideboard. And then we've got Intro to Prophecy, Intro to Annihilation, and of course, classic Mascot Exhibition to fill up the board with creatures and activate Arcane Bombardment one more time. So let's get over and see some games with this deck over on the Ranked Explorer ladder. I'll be with you for commentary, of course, but as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. All right, dipping back into Explorer. We're going to keep this just because we have Play with Fire. If the deck betrays me and doesn't give me a land, we can always Play with Fire to the face. Opponent starts off with Zeator's Proving Ground. All right, we've got a second land. We need that third. Come on, deck. Oh, opponent with a Triome. Indatha Triome. Oh, and you're going to duress me? Well, then let's get Play with Fire out before they can see we're a little bit light on the lands. Yeah, sorry, Chandra's got to go to the bottom. We need lands to open up Igneous Inspiration. There we go. All right. Oh, yep, forgot that's a sorcery. Anyway, we're totally fine. Okay, opponent with a Jungle Hollow. Follows that up with Grizzly Salvage. Oh, there's Greasefang. I get it now. All right, so that's a Greasefang, and it looked like a Chariot in the yard. There's our land here. Let's pass. This opens up Big Score for us, and that can lead to a fast bombardment, which we might need to start taking care of all these comboed vehicles that they're going for. Oh, Satyr Wayfinder. Okay. I thought Greasefang was coming out. All right, Wayfinder's going to show, it looks like another Chariot. Gives them a land. Well, now is a good window to Big Score. Let's get rid of Inspiration. Now that I know they're on vehicles, I want that Abrade. Ooh, we get Abrade and a Command. All right, so we're going to go land number 5. And pass. I want to keep up our artifact removal because they're likely going to go for Greasefang this turn. And that's going to fish out a vehicle from the graveyard. Or they're just going to hard cast it. They might think we have counterspells. So they might be trying to just wear us down with stuff on the board. Well, I'm happy with slowing it down a little bit. Think we have time to fire off command maybe, give us an extra treasure just in case we don't draw another land. And that way we'll have Bombardment online next turn. Think that'll work. So let's see. Prismari Command. Choose 2 of these. All right, let's choose... No, hold on. Yeah, let's do treasure and destroy artifact. So me, make treasure, destroy artifact over there on the chariot. Wonderful. Yeah, of course we get the land anyway. That's fine. We're going to play Arcane Bombardment. We're going to hold up Abrade for this turn. All right. Yeah, just some chariots so far. No Parhelion, thankfully. Opponent's going to play Greasefang. So if they go to combat, we can't let that happen. So we're going to try to shoot down Greasefang with an Abrade here and activate Arcane Bombardment. Ah, big score. Abrade's going to be so good in this match. We'll do it anyway. We can always fish it back out with Bombardment. Okay, Invoke the Winds, also good. We could potentially steal a Parhelion. Crewing it up, though, is another matter. Oh, they're going to get it anyway. Can't stay away. They bring back Greasefang, so that is going to bring back Essica's Chariot, give them some more tokens. They can crew it up right away. There they go. Because it gives the vehicle haste, and they will likely copy a cat here. So we're going to take a bunch of damage. All right, that attack brings us down to 10. Greasefang bounces the chariot back to their hand, and we pick up a lightning strike. Not bad. It's an instant, so I'll take it. Speaking of taking it, we're going to take Greasefang. Activate old Bombardment here. Pick up big score. We can safely get rid of that land. And then Prismari Command. What do we want to do with you? Yeah, let's see. We're going to do 2 damage to something and just make a treasure. All right, one of the cats down. We draw 2 lands, and we'll steal Greasefang. We'll just hold on to these lands for now as big score fodder for the future. So opponent with a bunch of tokens. We have 1 out, and that is Lightning Strike to activate Bombardment. So if they get rid of the stolen Greasefang, they do have lethal, but we can at least zap something. All right, Can't Stay Away brings back their other copy of Greasefang. Well, let's Lightning Strike it. Hopefully they don't have any protection. All right, things are just sliding through, so let's go for it. Let's big score away some land. We're going to, yep, let's get rid of that too. Stormcarved Coast goes away. Prismari Command. We're going to do 2 damage to something and make a treasure. Control the cat population. And we should get a couple of cards off of big scores here. Good, there's Chandra, there's Burn Down the House. All good things as we try to turn the corner here. All right, an opponent just attacking. Yes, we will block one of the cats. Alrighty. Hopefully no mana for any kind of protection. Any extra damage, maybe. Tell you what, let's... Yeah, I don't want to get that low, but let's save Divide by 0 in case they've got some big play. think we can manage what's on the board with what we've got. So let's go Chandra here.
Fire doesn't need a plan.
Loads of mana. Let's copy burn down the house with Chandra. Great. 3 devils. Bombardment goes off. We'll do an Igneous Inspiration. To the face. And big score. Discarding land. Let's big score. We'll keep this divide by 0 out of the way. Okay, yeah, I was going to see if we could burn him out, but the opponent does it for us. This seems good. We're going to keep this. Prismari Command. Forgot how good this is in Explorer. Usually when I run into Explorer, I don't really face any or too many meta decks. It's such a wide open format for a lot of people that it's not quite the same, same 4 or 5 decks as in Standard. Making a treasure there with Magma Opus. I'm going to pass it on back. But yeah, Greasefang, quite threatening from what I hear in most of Explorer. We're going to use our Prismari Command here. Do a little draw and discard. Give ourselves a treasure. Opponent's looking like a control deck, so we're going to pitch Igneous Inspiration and Anger of the Gods. Get the Steam Vents down tapped. Now we're just trying to survive until we can get to the win cons. That's Chandra and Arcane Bombardment. Perhaps pull some lessons out of the sideboard to get there along the way. Augury is going to be good. Let's get our land down. Yep, let's wait. We can Augury on their turn. If we find Bombardment or Chandra, we won't have enough mana left to cast it if we do it main phase anyway. Well, now this is intriguing. Witching Well, following their Solemn Simulacrum, Mightstone and Weakstone. Yeah, let's just put a pause on that. Divide that by 0. And I think we're going to go... Start from scratch could be okay for the Artifact Destruction. But actually, they've got more cards than us. Let's go Teachings of the Archaics. And we're going to Experimental Augury end the turn. Take this other Inspiration. Augury kind of nice for digging for your end game. All right, well, let's Teachings. That draws us 2 and finds Divide by 0, so we're going to pass the turn, keep that up. And it attacks with the Simulacrum. Mightstone and Weakstone. Let's see, do we divide it? Let's just let it go. Opponent's going to draw some cards. Alright, so some kind of Artifacts Matter deck. They're ramping into something. We got big score. We're going to play that on our opponent's turn. They're going to use the well to draw a couple of cards there. Passing it on back to... oh, no, not quite. Going to get in with the Solemn Simulacrum. Bring us to 14. Steals Seraph. Alright, well, let's use this opportunity to big score. We'll ditch the Igneous Inspiration into the graveyard. We get Play with Fire and Consider. Let's consider and dig a little bit more. I mean, that's a card to dig with. Experimental Augury then. Well, if we get Chandra, it's going to be good. Let's hold. Okay, there we go. We got it, and we got some mana. Opponent's got, well, a lot of mana up, but I think we got to go for this. We can take a hit from these creatures, right? Or do we just Anger of the Gods? Or do we do both? Yeah, let's get down Bombardment. Or do we keep up Divide by 0 here? Too many choices. Tell you what, let's split the difference. We'll activate Bombardment, but we'll keep up mana for Divide by 0. We pull up a Teachings. That should still work, right? Yeah, they still have more cards than us. Great. So we draw 2 with Teachings. Play with Fire to the face. Scry into a land. We'll get rid of that. Just play our land. Opponent with Stern Lesson. So they draw a little bit, make Power Stone. All right. Opponent goes to combat. We're on the hook for 6 here. Still a couple of turns before we really need to start dealing with this board. We drop down to 9. Another Solemn. So opponent with all of the lands available. Let's go play with fire at the opponent. We get Igneous Inspiration under Bombardment. So let's do that to the Seraph. We're going to Teachings last so that we get the draw. Inspiration. Let's go get... I think start from scratch. We've seen a lot of artifacts. Big score on top. Seems fine. We'll keep that. Go to our turn. Play the Stormcarved Coast. Let's do Anger of the Gods. That'll prevent them from getting any triggers off these Solemns. And then Arcane Bombardment. We get Anger of the Gods again. We'll do Igneous Inspiration at the opponent. And we have more cards now, so Teaching's not going to help. Let's pull out Mascot Exhibition, see if we can't press down the gas. Put our opponent on the defensive for a little while. And we have the mana, but I think we're going to wait on Exhibition. Opponent with another Stern Lesson. I'm wary of tapping out. They've got so much mana. This could easily go south. Yeah. Okay, opponent with Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. They are exiling, what? A land and a bombardment. I mean, we could divide it, but they're just going to be able to recast it again. Let's divide our Arcane Bombardment. Had to read there to make sure we could divide our own stuff. That's going to trigger Bombardment. We're going to get 2 Igneous Inspirations off of that. And that's about it, unfortunately. That's going to be 6 to the opponent's face. We'll take this Intro to Annihilation. And then another learn. We'll take Mercurial Transformation, just in case. Bombardment comes back to the hand. And we'll just take Environmental Sciences. Ulamog happens. And is on the board. All right. In that case, let's do EOT, Experimental Augury. Ooh, Chandra's here. You could be very helpful. All right. Ulamog, not an artifact. We could potentially dig for a Invoke the Winds, but I don't know if we have time. Let's Intro to Annihilation Ulamog. They get to draw a card. We'll just play out a land here. We're going to have to discard. All right. Yeah, let's go. Let's just pass. We'll discard, keep up big score, and then hopefully we can go into either Bombardment or Chandra. Yeah, we're going to put Exhibition in the grave too. We can pick that up now with our rescued Bombardment. Maze Mine Tome from the opponent. Going to draw a card. Arcanist's Owl. Okay, that's going to go find you something off the top. Cityscape Leveler, a good find. And then Repair and Recharge on the Seraph. So that's a 5/4. Interesting. All right. Well, opponent's at 9 here. We could just go straight for a burn finish somehow, but we just need some more cards. Yeah. Let's get Chandra down.
Stopping tyrants like you is kind of my thing.
And then if we plus Chandra, let's see if this makes sense. Make some mana. Start from scratch. Destroy some artifacts.
Here's a spark of hope.
Okay. Board under control. You know what? We might have had enough. I keep forgetting that Chandra has like that minus ability at the end. Might have just been able to burn them out there with copies of Lightning Strike. All right, well, nothing like a nice complex game. All right, opponent's got Steel Seraph. They've played the Leveler. Chandra is down because of it, so we get a Power Stone. They are going to pass it on back. Yes, keeping mana up for that. We've got a Magma Opus as the draw. Let's Arcane Bombardment then. We can Prismari Command and destroy the Leveler at least. Yep, destroy target artifact. There it is. And we'll do 2 damage to the opponent. All right, what do we pull up? Big score. Let's get rid of this other big score then. We draw in Abrade. That's going to be good. And we'll get the Steam Vents into play tapped. So yeah, next turn, I'm trying to salvage this game here. Opponent's going to do Maze Mine Tome to draw. If they unearth the Leveler, we've got the Abrade for that. Okay, they go for that. So there's no trigger because it's unearthed. If it goes to attacks, that's when they get the trigger. So if we Abrade this now, we should be fine. Well, I'm still salty about that punt. Right? Double up Lightning Strike minus Chandra. It's fine. It's fine. All right, divide by 0 is going to hit the Seraph. Big score. We'll get rid of the transformation. We pick up Anger of the Gods. Get Intro to Prophecy out of the sideboard. Abrade takes care of the Leveler, finally. All right. What else you got? Another Seraph. Full price. Okay, it looks like we're going to the end of the turn. Let's just Lightning Strike the opponent's face. Bring them down to 4. All right, opponent sees it coming. Good game. All right. This looks keepable. I've done some stretching. Mindfulness exercises. I'm going to keep track of all the details in this game. What in the world? Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot. Yeah, I missed the whole a good chunk of the Kaladesh era of Standard. But I do remember, what was it? Aetherworks, Marvel, Reservoir. Oh, the big damage one. Let's get our Prismari Command on. We'll do a little draw and discard, give ourselves a treasure, get rid of some of these extra lands. All right. Well, our hand does 2 things and does them very well. Opponent with a Fable. Good in any deck you can put it in. Let's pitch one of these Anger of the Gods to a big score. And, oh, there's Chandra. We're going to work our way up to some of our 6-cost things. We play land. I think Bombardment first. And then we can try to go for the Chandra next turn. We're going to keep up our instance on our opponent's turn here and just see what's going on. Anytime I run into something unfamiliar, oh, Ulamog again. And Harnessed Lightning. How are you getting Ulamog into play? Servant of the Conduit. So is the plan to like ramp into Ulamog or what is it? Genesis Ultimatum? Maybe. Those are more rampy colors than Reanimator colors. Another Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot. Alright, let's Lightning Strike the mana creature. Triggers Bombardment. We pick up Prismari Command. Alright, let's do a little cleanup here. We're going to destroy an artifact and do some damage. So that clears the board of creatures. We leave them with just a Fable, Puzzle Knot, and a Treasure. Okay, we get Inspiration. It's going to trigger Bombardment. Good, we get big score. Prismari Command, what are we going to do with this? I guess just 2 damage and make a treasure. Yeah, now that I think about it, I don't really care if they keep the Puzzle Knot. And if they're playing things like Ulamog, we should try to speed up a little bit and finish them off. Alright. What do we find with Inspiration? I guess just Mascot Exhibition. We can maybe discard that to a big score. Maybe just hard cast it. We'll just pass it here. Opponent's Fable will flip over. All right. I see things coming. Good game. All right, we're going to keep this. We got a Chandra. We got some early game interaction. We're going to play this Steam Vents tapped. All right, opponent with some Toxic Death Touchers. Do we do it now? Yeah, let's do it now. We're going to Lightning Strike that creature. Pass it on back. Yeah, this hasn't happened yet, but I'm considering one of my goals for perhaps someday is to play an Arcane Bombardment and have somebody instantly scoop. It hasn't happened yet. We're going to Igneous Inspiration Finn. Take an Environmental Sciences. If we don't draw a land, we can Sciences next turn and still keep up an Abrade. On it with just a hobbling zombie over there. All right, we're going to Environmental Sciences. Pull out this island. And then keep up Abrade. We're getting up to Chandra the slow way this game, although we do have big score for later. Yeah, most opponents, when they see Arcane Bombardment, they kind of make you work for it, which I can't blame you. You know, whenever I play a combo player, you got to make them have it. Finn the Fangbearer comes down, so this is probably based on that old standard deck that used Finn to put poison counters on people before there were better ways to put poison counters on people. Alright, Skull Dweller comes back down. Let's see here. Yeah, I think at this point we're going to pass. We're going to do big score and accelerate our way into old Chandra there. If anything really scary comes down, we do have Divide by Zero. Fellstinger. Okay, that's not that scary. I'm going to sacrifice the zombie. Draw a couple of cards. And then make a Decayed Zombie token. Llanowar Elves. What are you doing in there? You don't have Death Touch. And I don't know who you're powering out. Anyway, we're pitching a Divide by Zero to this big score. We'll play our Stormcarved Coast. And yeah, do we want to wipe this? Do we want a big score? Nah, let's go for the burn down the house. Just to clean things up a little bit. If they lay a Finn down on that board, that's a chunk of poison counters for us. Rot Priest. Double Rot Priest. Where have those been hiding? All right. Well. All right. I think Chandra makes sense here. So we could target those with the minus ability of Chandra, or if we make some mana, we can get double big score. Yeah, which might actually give us more options. Yep, and we're potentially pulling up Burn Down the House out of the graveyard or Anger of the Gods. Let's discard Divide by Zero. We get double big score. There's Magma Opus. All right, now let's pass it over. See what our opponent does here before we decide on what spell to cast. Opponent's going to attack face with the Rot Priests. All right. I think we're going to Prismari Command then on damage and treasure. So we're going to target a Rot Priest and then ourselves. Chandra will copy that. And that's going to trigger the 2 Rot Priests. All right, so we don't get to choose the modes again, so it's important to choose the ones you want to copy the first time, because you don't get to take it back. All right, that's more Rot Priest triggers. You're up to 5 poison counters, but the Rot Priests are gone. Okay, great. Let's see, might as well use the mana from Chandra. Give ourselves a little boost here. We're going to Magma Opus on the opponent. Tap a couple of lands. Chandra's going to copy that for us. Very nice of her. Tap down our opponent's stuff a little bit more. All right, that's 4 to the opponent. Free token, draw a couple of cards. Let's go ahead and do that again. All right. Looking pretty good here. Yep. Opponent must not have anything to deal with the tokens. Good game. All right. I think I got time for a little more here. Got some Divide by Zeros in our opening hand. Hopefully won't have to play with Fire our opponent's face to look for land number 3. Opponent plays a Plains. Let's do it. Big score, no thank you. We get Consider. All right, land number 2 from us. Still need land number 3 to get into Prismari Command territory. Opponent with a Rafine's Informant. Okay, there's Parhelion. We're going to Consider here, get rid of Magma Opus. We draw Bombardment. There's the 3rd land. Great. All right, we're going to pass it on over here. Got a couple of options in Divide by Zero and Command. That's an early Grease Fang into Parhelion. Let's Divide by Zero you and buy us another turn. We're going to pick up Environmental Sciences since we know we're land light. Opponent attacks us for 3 with the Informant. All right, let's then Steam Vents. Tapped. We're going to pass here and just keep up Divide by Zero one more time. We are not ready. Opponent with a Tainted Indulgence. Did they discard a second Parhelion? Oh boy. All right. Opponent attacks with the Informant. Brings us to 14. We draw Steam Vents. Let's pay for it this time. We're going to Environmental Sciences. Just grab a mountain. Essentially refunded us for the Steam Vents, and we still have 3 up for this Divide by Zero. Ah, Sheoldred. That's not good. All right. Well, Yeah, let's still divide by 0 this. Still need just a hair more time. Teachings is decent. Yeah, let's take that. Okay. So opponent likely to attack here for 3. All right. Brings us down to 11. We're finally at 6 mana. Yeah, let's Teachings. If we go from Bombardment there, they might just be able to finish us off with one Parhelion attack. Especially since they've got Informant on the board. The angels it leaves behind are just terrible for us. Sure, we'll take 3 more from this Informant, go to 8. What do they go with here? They're going to hard cast Sky Sovereign. Sure, I guess that's okay. Yep, nothing on the board for it to shoot. All right, we're going to Prismari Command here. We're going to create a treasure and destroy an artifact. All right, we draw Steam Vents. Let's play Bombardment. I think then we've got 2 mana left for this Augury. We're out of Divide by Zeros, so it's kind of up to the opponent what they're going to do here. They're going to go with Greasefang. All right. Well, I think... What do we got down here? Couple of things, but nothing guaranteed. So let's let them get the vehicle out here. Okay, so the vehicle is out. They're going to crew it with Greasefang. But it doesn't have a crew trigger, it's an attack trigger. Now let's Augury. Opponent has a response? No. Alright. Bombardment. Picks up Divide by 0. So let's Divide by 0 Parhelion. They can't recast it. We get to learn, so let's take... Transformation could be fun. We'll try that. Oh, yeah, Anger of the Gods. That could be nice. Well, though Divide by 0, though, they got so much mana they could be hard casting some of these threats next turn. Opponent's going to Tainted Indulgence and attack us for 3. We're going to drop down to 5 here. No mana left for Shieldred for now, so that's good. All right, let's play Island. I think we're going to go Igneous Inspiration. We're going to hit Greasefang with that. Bombardment picks up Prismari Command. And then we're going to do 2 to the Informant finally. The thing that's been doing all the damage to us this game. And we'll just keep Divide by 0 under there. All right, Greasefang down. Let's learn about mascots. And then we've got Divide by 0 up for this turn. All right, opponent's going to go with Faithful Mending. Draw 2, discard 2. Looks like some removal hit the graveyard there. All right, can you reanimate Greasefang? Do you have another Greasefang? Are you going to Shieldred us? No. Okay, we're going to big score then. That Divide by 0 under Bombardment, just keeping us kind of safe here. Let's do Prismari Command. We'll do 2 damage and get a treasure. Nothing to divide at the moment. Inspiration, let's take Prophecy. Big score gives us a couple more cards. That's good. Let's, you want to take a peek at the top here? Let's do Experimental Augury. Well, no. Well, we could get a Chandra. That's my dream scenario. Oh, Magma Opus, though. We can play it and activate Bombardment at the same time. Great, that's going to be 4 damage. Got a little more under Bombardment and see what else we can pick up here. Another divide by 0. Sorry, opponent. We're going to do Prismari Command, 2 damage to you. We're going to do Igneous Inspiration, 3 more damage. We'll learn about Annihilation this time. Prismari Command brings you to 10. Opus brings you to 6. Let's see, we've got Inspiration, but I also kind of want to... I don't know if Chandra will work. All right, let's just pass. We can keep up divide by 0, be extra cautious, and then trigger Bombardment on their turn. Although, no, Chandra might have worked there. If we could have made mana, it might not have been enough, since we need 3 for Inspiration. All right, let's then, in response to Shieldred, Augury, that's going to trigger Bombardment. All right, we're going to Inspiration, hit the opponent for 3. Divide by 0 on Shieldred. Where are you? Can I... All right, well, it was the first thing, right? I can barely see Shieldred in there. All right, Prismari Command. A little damage and a little treasure. Big score. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's get rid of Transformation. Don't need to divide a second time. All right, everything is resolving. We'll just take start from scratch. Bring them down to 1. Do a little discard since we're out of things in the sideboard to pull, and we'll might as well pull the backup big score. All right, opponent out of mana to recast Shieldred, but they do have Greasefang. Well, we do have an extra divide by 0 or 2 in hand, so we're going to return Greasefang to your hand. All right, opponent avoids the start from scratch finish. Good game. Alrighty. Here we go. Let's keep that there. All right.